Hey everyone, welcome back to the pronunciation class level intermediate. The book we're working on right now is Pronunciation in Use and our level is intermediate. The title is A Shirt and a Tie or A Shirt and Tie. A shirt and a tie or a shirt and tie. So what we are basically working on in this lesson is grouping words. Grouping words. So you are gonna have to group some words in a sentence. For example, look at these two sentences that you see here. I'm going to play this CD for you, C12, and see how differently they are pronounced. C12.
C12. A shirt and a tie. I bought a shirt and a tie.
A shirt and tie.
So,
He was wearing a shirt and tie.
so that was the topic of the lesson, a shirt and a tie. But listen to these two sentences. Hi everyone, welcome.
Shirt and a tie. A shirt and a tie.
A shirt and tie. He was wearing a shirt and tie.
So here, when you look at this, you group this part together. I bought a shirt, and then you group another part, the second part here, and a tie. So this is going to be your first group. This is going to be your second group. Yes? I bought a shirt and a tie. So again, I bought a shirt and a tie. But here you just have one group. Here you just have one group, right? You say, he was wearing a shirt and a tie. He was wearing a shirt and tie. Because you look at shirt and tie as like one item together. You think they are together. So this is grouping. In the second sentence, you hear no pauses at all. But in the first sentence, you hear a pause in the middle. I bought a shirt and a tie. He was wearing a shirt and tie. So also the book explains here, let me read it for you. It says the speakers group the words differently because the first speaker thinks of the shirt and tie as separate things that are not together, separate things. One thing is shirt, one thing is tie, separate things. So the speaker groups them differently, yes? But the second speaker thinks of them as things that go together in a group. Go together in a group. So this is what we're talking about, grouping words. It's not very clear here. Let's move on. It says, listen to this sentence. Here, it's more important. Let's go here. Okay. You see a sentence here and you see the slash marks, one here and one here. Now listen to this voice.
C13. A. I bought a nice new jacket with a zip down the front and a lot of pockets. C13.
So did you hear that? Did you see all those grouping? The first group is here, group A. The second group is here, group B. And the last group is group C. He said, I bought a nice new jacket with a zip down the front and a lot of pockets. So this sentence was very easy to understand because the pauses were made just at the right place. I bought a nice new jacket with a zip down the front and a lot of pockets. But if you said it like in a different way, for example, look at this sentence. Listen to this one. This one is not right. Listen.
B. I bought a nice new jacket with a zip down the front and a lot of pockets.
This is not good at all because the way you're grouping is not right. You're saying, I bought a nice new pause here, and the listener is like, what did you buy? And then say jacket with a zip down the listener is like, down the what? So down the front and a lot of pockets. So this is not right. This is not a good grouping for your speech. But this one is good. I bought a nice new jacket with a zip down the front and a lot of pockets. So when you're speaking, make sure you are, because when you speak, so anyone, when you speak even Farsi, English, whatever, you need to take breaths. Yes, you need to take breaths right in the middle. So you have to make sure, where should I pause and take a breath? Because you can't go like, I bought a nice new jacket with a zip down the front and a lot of pockets. No, it's not good. And you want to take a breath. So that's where you grouping actually comes in, and you might want to group the words in a way that makes sense. So the most important thing you need to know when it comes to grouping is to know that each group has to have meaning. If you say, I bought a nice new, it's not complete. It does not have a complete meaning, so it's not good. But when you say, I bought a nice new jacket, then it's complete. Then it makes sense. Then it has meaning. When you say jacket with a zip down there, it has no meaning. But when you say with a zip down the front, then it has meaning. All these chunks, groups, have meanings. They make sense. A lot of pockets, it has meaning. But front, it doesn't have meaning here alone. It's down the front together. So your grouping has to be correct, and how you can understand it is by making sure that each chunk makes sense. Now let's go to the next part. You see a woman here with a black coat. She's remembering the uniform. So this is her uniform. Hi Siamak, welcome. This is her uniform. Everybody welcome who have just joined. This is her uniform. She's talking about her uniform. Look at how perfectly she groups her word. So she's very easy to understand, regardless of the fact that the listener is native or non-native. But they can understand her because she knows how to group her words. Now let's listen to her words.
C14.
I remember we had this school uniform, and it was like all dark brown. A dark brown skirt and jacket, and a white blouse. And we had to have black shoes. And the skirt had to be below the knees. And we all hated this uniform. So we tried to change it. Things like, use a belt to bring the skirt higher, or whatever. And we weren't allowed to have earrings, but we wore them anyway outside the school, and then took them off when we walked in.
So maybe it wasn't loud enough. I'm going to read it again for you. And look at how I pauses, how I actually pause, or look at my pauses. I remember we had this school uniform, and it was like all dark brown. A dark brown skirt and jacket, and a white blouse. And we had to have black shoes, and the skirt had to be below the knees. And we all hated this uniform, so we tried to change it. Things like, use a belt to bring the skirt higher, or whatever. And we weren't allowed to have earrings, but we wore them anyway outside the school, and then took them off when we walked in. So you see that the pause here. We took them off when we walked in. But if I actually grouped my words differently, you would have a really hard time understanding me. Hi Karimi, welcome. So that was just an example. Now, I don't really want to do that a lot, but for example, if I put it here, or some other place. For example, I say, I remember we had this, and then I pause. The listener is waiting. It's not complete. But I remember is complete. Now it's good. This is a good way to group your words. So this grouping you see here is perfect. Completely understandable. Yes. Hi Nahid, welcome. So yeah, in the next part it also says when you are speaking, you often have to pause. Let me see, my camera is a little. You have to pause to think or to breathe. So yeah, it's important to pause at the right place. If you just run out of breath or you feel breathless at the wrong part of the sentence, that then you're gonna sound hard to understand, really hard. So in this part, we are going to go to the exercises, and here we will check some exercises. You are going to listen and check the correct answer. I'm going to give you the example first. So look, listen.
C15. Example. Take shorts and t-shirts and long trousers and a sweater for the evenings. 1.
Sorry, this one doesn't have any audio. So we should listen, and you please tell me which one is the right grouping for each sentence. So if I put my group A here and I put my group B here, it sounds like I bought a ticket and got on the train. Not good. Why not good? Because got what? It's not complete. But however, I'm going to show you the correct, you almost see it here. This is the correct way to group it. This is the correct way to group it. I bought a ticket and got on the train. Much, much better. Much, much easier to understand. So you see how I grouped the sentence. My words are grouped. Group A is I bought a ticket. Group B is and got on the train. So I don't say I bought a ticket and got on the train. I say I bought a ticket and got on the train, which is much, much better and easier to understand. Now you tell me number one, is it A or is it B? I'm going to read them. Hi Ali, welcome. Is there any special rules for pausing? Which words have to be read together? Yes, Ali, I was telling you, there's no rule, but here's the key rule for it. Wherever you pause and you group your words, they have to have complete meaning, okay? I told you, when you say I bought a ticket and got, you pause here. This group is not good because the listener is waiting for something else. But here, I bought a ticket, even if you pause and you don't say anything, the listener understands. This is a good grouping. And even if you don't say the first part, you just say, and got on the train, again, it makes sense. Got on the train. It's good. It's a good group. So that's how we group our words. Atafa says A. So I was going to read them. It was a small car with a red stripe along the side. B says it was a small car with a red stripe along the side. Yeah, Atafa is right. It's A. Because this grouping makes sense when you say it was a small car with a red stripe along the side. Yeah, this is a perfect grouping. Good, Karimi. Fariba, good. You're welcome, Ali. Now let's go to number 2. Do you want chicken and chips or fish and salad? Do you want chicken and chips or, okay, so I couldn't say B. Do you, because it's not natural, but let me try it. Do you want chicken and chips or fish and salad? This group is not good, yeah? Yes, good, Parisa. It's A. Number 1 is A. Hi, Susan. Yes, Ali, that's A. So number 2, is it A or B? Yeah, 2 is also A. Good Fariba. Atafa, good. You say, do you want chicken and chips or fish and salad? So they are together. You have 2 items here. Like this is the first item on the menu. This is the second item on the menu. You say, do you want chicken and chips or fish and salad? Yes? Good, Ali. Good, Parisa. So now we're moving on to number 3. I'm not sure if you can see that well, so let me... Okay. Okay. So, let me see if my voice is recorded. Okay, good. So, Derek can wear the most expensive suit, but he never looks smart. B. Derek can wear the most expensive suit, but he never looks smart. What do you think? Karim says B. Atafa says B. Fariwa says B. Ali says B. Yeah, you're right, exactly. You can't say the most and then you stop. Somebody's waiting for it. The most beautiful, the most expensive, the most fashionable. You want something. And this is not a good grouping at all. Yes, Akram Paris, so good. So Derek can wear the most expensive suit, but he never looks smart. So it's B exactly. Yeah, good Fatah. So let's move on to the next one. So here you're going to listen and fill in the blanks. For example, if you look at here, you should really listen because some options are all possible. We have to say it in accordance with what we hear. Let's listen.
T-shirts. C15. Example. Take shorts and T-shirts and long trousers and a sweater for the evenings.
Take shorts and T-shirts and long trousers and sweater for this evening. So you see here, if you want to comment down below the answer for number 1 when we listen, you should do it like this. You first put a hyphen here, which means nothing. Here, yes, you pause. And then here, no pause. You can pause, but we should listen to CD and say it because we want to identify. Listen again.
Example. Take shorts and T-shirts and long trousers and a sweater for the evenings.
Take shorts and T-shirts, pause, and long trousers and a sweater for this evening. So the answer, if you want to comment it, let's say person A is commenting, your answer should be like this. Yes. So now let's go to number 1, listen to it and see who can answer that. This is number 1.
1. Take your boots and ski suit and a dress and some nice shoes for the evenings.
I don't know why it's not loud enough, but anyway, let's listen again.
Evenings and some nice shoes for the evenings. Your boots and 1. Take your boots and ski suit and a dress and some nice shoes for the evenings. Suit and a dress and some nice shoes for the evenings.
So listen to number 2 again.
T-shirts and long trousers and a sweater for the evenings.
1. Take your boots and ski suit and a dress and some nice shoes for the evenings.
Yes, good Ali, exactly. Pause is just in the middle and on the sides you have no pausing. Yes. Parisa, Said, Atafa, Sweet, Ali, good. Exactly, after suit, it says take your boots and ski suit and a dress and some nice shoes for the evening. So again, take your boots and ski suit and a dress and some nice shoes for the evening. So you see, can you believe like this long sentence, it only has 2 groups. Group A, take your boots and ski suit. Group B, and a dress and some nice shoes for this evening. Good, Karimi. So now we're moving to number 3. Let's see if you can get that one. 3, yes. Listen and answer.
2.
Sorry, 2.
Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains. Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains.
Higher in JBR.
Shirts and an umbrella in case it... Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains. 2. Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains.
So what do you hear? Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains. Ali says hyphen slash. Okay, let me see what other people think. Do you want to listen again? Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains. Yes, Said also says like Ali. Yeah, you're right, Karimi also. Yeah, the first time here you have no pauses and here you hear a pause. Do you want to listen again?
Take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains.
Good, Atif.
3.
Paris, you have 2 hyphens because we have 2 blanks here. Yeah, take a hat and sunglasses and t-shirts and an umbrella in case it rains. It's also good, in case it rains. احیانا اگه بارون بیاد. In case, it means if that happens, you are safe. You have taken the precaution in case it rains. Yes, that's a good one. You can use it like, say, hey, why are you taking the umbrella? I don't think it's going to rain. And I said, I'm just taking it in case it rains. Maybe it rains. In case it rains, I'm fine then. So yeah, let's go to number 3.
Take a smart suit and a shirt and tie and some casual clothes for the weekend. Take a smart suit and a shirt and tie and some casual clothes for the weekend.
3.
Take a smart suit and a shirt and tie and some casual clothes for the weekend.
3.
Take a smart suit and a shirt and tie and some casual clothes for the weekend.
3.
Take a smart suit and a shirt and tie and some casual clothes for the weekend.
So again, it's like the previous one. Yes, sweet, very well, good. Take a smart suit and shirt and a tie and some casual clothes for the weekend. Exactly. Again, we have the same pattern. Good. Atifa, good. Listen again.
3. Take a smart suit and a shirt and tie and some casual clothes for the weekend.
Good, Atifa, Paisa, Karimi. And you say, what is this? A business trip with a weekend off in the middle. So it says this kind of clothing is good for a business trip. It's good for a business trip. The next one, it's for a holiday, sightseeing holiday. What should you take with yourself? What should you take with you? So let me play it here.
4. Take your camera and some good walking shoes and a towel and bathing costume for the beach.
I'm afraid this records this too loudly for the I'm afraid it records it too loudly for the Telegram video, but yeah, listen again.
4. Take your camera and some good walking shoes and a towel and bathing costume for the beach.
Weekend.
4. Take your camera and some good walking shoes and a towel and bathing costume for the beach.
Yeah, good, everyone. Take your camera and some good walking shoes. You pause here, and there's no pause around. Here and here, no pause. So take your camera and some good walking shoes and a towel and bathing costume for the beach. Costume is like kind of dressing, special dressing for a certain place. Costume. Yes?
4. Take your camera and some good walking shoes and a towel and bathing costume for the beach.
Bathing costume for the beach. Yes, good Mehri, Atifa, Ali, Sweet, Parsa. Good. So I guess the next part. What's happening? Okay. The next part, you're going to listen and put the slash marks. I'm afraid you can. I'm worried that you can't see this, but let's listen. It's about shopping, pretty much. Bathing costume. Yeah, costume is like clothes that you wear. Let me get it on here. Costume. The things that you wear, like special clothing for a certain place, a costume. So yeah, costume or costume, British is costume, American is costume. So it's a costume, costume. A set of clothes worn by an actor or by someone to make them look like such as an animal. No, not this one. Clothes that are typical of a particular place. Yes, this one. Swimming costume or bathing costume. Usually for swimming, you say swimming costumes when you want to swim, or when you want to bathe also they say bathing costume or swimming costume, which means you shouldn't actually wear a lot. Okay, so the next part, I'm not sure if you can see this, but we're just going to put some slash here. Let's listen.
C16. A man wanted to buy his wife a new dress because it was her birthday. So he went to a department store and looked around, and he was looking for about an hour, but he couldn't decide. And finally this shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. He said he was looking for a dress, and the shop assistant asked, "Is it for you, sir?"
So,
and finally, because it was her birthday, a man wanted to buy his wife a new dress because it was her birthday.
So in this part that I played for you, you can find two slashes.
Because it was her birthday, a man wanted to buy his wife a new dress because it was her birthday.
So one is here. A man wanted to buy his wife a new dress.
So he went to a department store and wanted to buy his wife a new dress because it was her birthday. So he went to a department store
because it was her birthday. And then here there is another pausing. So this is after a man. New dress, yes. A man, yeah, you can do it, but you don't need to do it because you're not still out of breath when you say one word. But yeah, you can say a man wanted to buy his wife a new dress. But here it's more continuous. A man wanted to buy his wife a new dress because it was her birthday. So
he went to a department store and looked around. So he went to a department store and looked around.
This is after new dress. Good. Ali says before because. Before because. Yes, before because. Good. After birthday. Yes, good. After birthday, Parisa. Good. Yeah. What about the next one?
Store. So he went to a department store and looked around. Department store. Birthday. So he went to a department store and looked around.
Good, Atafe. After store. So he went to a department store. There's a little pause here. And looked around. Said good. Parisa good. So there's a pause after store. Listen again and find the next one.
and looked around, and he was looking for about an hour, but he and looked around, and he was looking for about an hour, and looked around, and he was looking for about an hour, but he couldn't decide. And finally this shop assistant came.
Because in this sentence, the sentence is not finishing, like there are a lot of ands and buts and so's. A lot of pauses are needed.
And looked around, and he was looking for about an hour.
Yes, very good, Parisa. After around, looked around, looked around. Yes, Said, good. Hour, exactly before but. After hour, good, Said. Atifa also said hour. Fatima says before but. Yes, exactly. Before but, after hour. Karimi, good. Fatima, good. Atifa, Said, Parisa, Fariba. Came. Yes. Fariba is Parisa went here. Yes, came. Also came. Let's go back.
To a department store and looked around, and he was looking for about an hour, but he couldn't decide. And finally this shop assistant came. And
There's one more. Can you find it?
and he was looking for about an hour, but he couldn't decide. And finally
Yes, thank you, Parisa. I made a mistake here. After around. Okay, thank you.
he couldn't decide. And he was looking for about an hour, but he couldn't decide. And finally this shop assistant came.
Yeah, after decide also. We have another one after decide. He couldn't decide. And finally, this shop assistant came. Also, this pronunciation is important. Look at me. It's a schwa. Listen to me. Assistant. Assistant. Finally, this shop assistant came. Yes, good, Karami. After decide. Now let's go to the last part of this.
And
Good, Parisa.
asked if he needed help. Asked if he needed help. This shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. He said he was looking for a dress, and the shop assistant asked, "Is it for you, sir?" Asked if he needed help. This shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. And finally this shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. He said he was looking for a dress, and the shop assistant asked, "Is it for you, sir?" And finally this shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. He said he was looking for a dress, and the shop assistant asked, "Is it for you, sir?" Finally this shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. He said he was looking for a dress, and the shop assistant asked, "Is it for you, sir?"
Fariba says after dress. Good, Fariba. Latifa says after help. Good. Said says after dress. Very good. Fariba says after help. Said says after help. Good. Exactly. After help we have one. Asked if he needed help. He said that he was looking for a dress. After dress, yes. And the shop assistant asked, yes, good, Atifa. After asked also. After asked. Like, exactly, good, Fariba. After dress, yes, Academy. After dress. After help, good. And I think we're finished, yes?
A man wanted to buy his wife a new dress because it was her birthday. So he went to a department store and looked around, and he was looking for about an hour, but he couldn't decide. And finally this shop assistant came and asked if he needed help. He said he was looking for a dress, and the shop assistant asked, "Is it for you, sir?"
Good. So let me see if there's anything else left. I think we're finished. Yeah, we're finished. Just next session, remind me that we should go to unit 4, right? Thank you everyone for joining. It was great to have you on. So yeah, next session we'll go to Unit 4. And now, this is the end of the pronunciation class.